This video shows other Pit Boss griddle owners how to strip the ceramic coating off their griddle and reseason the steel surface. I began using an electric drill and sanding attachments and was able to quickly sand off the top layer of sediment. I later lamented not stopping here because it really looks halfway decent. Ceramic coating is supposedly inert and the effort was labor intensive, but I'm happy I kept going. I tried wire, polymer, and sandpaper drill attachments, but I barely made a dent. It would take dozens of them. Off camera, I tested the Makita grinder and the cutting wheel that came with it. I scratched the surface and had a no crack. Did I damage it? I went on Amazon to purchase other wheels and waited with Ellie Mae. Of course, my Makita uses X-Lock wheels and I bought standard. Amateur hour. I made a quick trip to Harbor Freight to purchase a cheap grinder to use with standard wheels and got a pack of X-Lock sanding wheels at Home Depot. Off camera, I sampled the blue diamond wheel meant for grinding cement, but sparks started flying everywhere and it cut into the metal surface below the ceramic, so I retreated back to the sanding wheels. This video sped up anywhere from 10 to 100x, and I'm not efficiently removing ceramic with the flap and polymer wheels, but they were good removing small patches of ceramic and at buffing out scratch marks from the cutting wheels. The noise was outstanding, so I decided speed was the trump card out of respect for my neighbors. I gave myself a pep talk to level up and commit to the blue diamond wheel for cutting the ceramic, and then using polymer and flap wheels to buff out the scratches and leave a finer finish. I touched down to the surface and bounced around and surely made a mess of the surface with cuts, but it worked. I saw steel shining through, and after getting a feel for the tool and breaking in the wheel, it began working much more smoothly across the surface. I was making solid progress. Sparks meant the tool was working and I no longer felt in imminent danger of losing a finger or an eye, but you should definitely wear your safety gear at all times, including a mask not pictured here. The diamond wheel cleared the surface much faster, but I did have to crank on the tool and it burns out in the video before I could finish cutting and buffing the surface with the standard fit wheels. I had to finish with my Makita and the only X-Lock flap wheel I had for buffing. The polymer would have been my preferred choice to finish, but all in all, for a $17 4-amp grinder and a few hours of work, I was content where I wound up. Blue diamond cement wheel to cut, polymer and or flap wheel to buff. I left ceramic on the sides. It wasn't worth the effort to remove it, and I figured it may actually be better off if I left it. I tried one last ditch effort with 120 grit sandpaper and the drill attachment. It was useless. Use a grinder and crank on it. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to work. I set the griddle top aside and did a quick power wash to clean the frame while being careful not to get the burners wet. Of course, my power washer hose burst after being in storage for 2 years, so I did a quick fix with Flex Seal and duct tape just to get me through the night. Nothing worthwhile is ever easy. I used soap and warm water to clean the surface of the griddle and then went over it with Wegmans disinfecting wipes until the wipes no longer showed any signs of dirt. I was very thorough. With the surface prepped and griddle all clean, I'm ready to season. A lot of forums suggest seasoning with flaxseed oil, but any high smoke point oil will do. I had avocado oil and popcorn butter at the house, so I went with a combo of that. The key is to put a very thin microscopic layer, wipe off any excess, do not let it pool, then heat the griddle and let it smoke off the oil. This will start to turn the metal black. When the oil is done smoking, let the griddle cool a little bit and do it again a couple more times. I spent about 45 minutes total to season with 2 quick layers of avocado oil and 1 layer of popcorn oil, and it came out great. I scraped areas along the way where it didn't season evenly because I didn't wipe off the excess of my first layer. Rookie Rowan Gardner. But as a pro tip, I know if you cool it too quickly, the griddle has a greater chance of peeling or warping. Therefore, in general, don't flash freeze the surface with ice or cold water to cool it down in a pinch, especially if you are sticking with ceramic coated version. It's better to let it cool naturally if you have the time. To finish it off, I cooked on it to break it in. I chopped up bell pepper, zucchini, and yellow squash and added that on the griddle alongside chopped up salt potatoes, rice, and Beyond plant-based sausage. The griddle performed perfectly, the food tasted great, I didn't eat metal, and I am beyond excited that I was able to successfully resurface the griddle and use it as a steel cooktop. Tailgate season will be much easier to manage with metal utensils and a cooktop that is much more robust. I hope this tutorial helps. Feel free to leave a question, suggestion, or criticism in the comments and I'll do my best to reply. Lastly, hit that like button if you found this video useful and follow me for more upcoming videos, including furry friends and a major kitchen renovation I just completed. Thank you and stay safe.